game. Illinois 26-9, 2022. What happened? The Fighting Illini entered Memorial Stadium 6-1 on the year. Ranked 17th in the AP poll, Illinois was a legit threat to the Big Ten West and would hope to pick up another win to maintain their spot atop the division. It was a classic Big Ten West matchup midway through the second quarter, with Nebraska clinging to a 9-6 lead. The game and the rest of Nebraska's season changed over the course of one play.
Third down and 10 for Nebraska. Thompson hit, ball flutters up in the air like a punt, and it's intercepted. It's picked off by Sidney Brown. He's got some running room past the 20. Brown inside the 15 and down to the 11-yard line.
It was the second INT of the game for Casey Thompson, and he headed to the locker room. While he'd return for the final two games of the season against Wisconsin and Iowa, he'd miss the next two. Welcome to the I-80 Club, a little tease of the Groin Kick Chronicles, which will start in 12 days. Josh Peterson, Jack Mitchell with you here on the I-80 Club YouTube channel, and we very much appreciate everyone for joining us. Like and subscribe if you are new here. If you've never hung out with us before, we would love to have that at the very least, or you can go to patreon.com/I-80 Club, where we do bonus episodes. You can get access to our Discord server and so much more. Jack, good morning. Hello, how are you?
I'm fine. Hello. Sorry about the slight delay. I was trying to make coffee. My machine wasn't cooperating. I never even made it after all that.
What?
It's going to be set up there. I know. Well, it never got finished. I realized, I was like, oh my gosh, it's so late. I got to go. Well, it was taking forever. So yeah, it's sitting up there. We'll see. What are the odds my wife brings it down?
Doesn't she never visit you in your basement? You've told me this. She does.
Yeah, she does not like the basement. It scares / bothers her. So I think it's a low likelihood, but we'll see.
Yeah,
I think that's. I'm going to give it a 20% chance.
20% chance.
The show, she will bring it down.
By the way, speaking of your wife, my wife last night asked, as you were jamming out doing the DJ set, she was like, "What does Jack's wife do during this?" And I was like, Is she bringing it down?
Oh my goodness. Come here.
Wow.
Come on screen. Say hi to everyone. No, you won't. She does exist. She's not like my girlfriend.
I don't know. Maybe.
Look, did you see there was a wedding ring?
I saw
That's real. That was not AI.
But she was asking me. She's
I
like,
love you. Thank you.
What does Jack's wife do during these DJ sessions? And I was like, I think she's asleep. I don't think that she even knows what he does. Does she know about what you do? Does she have any idea?
I don't think so. I mean, she hears me like say it, say that I'm going to do it, but she reacts kind of like, I think, the vast majority of people probably do when someone like me in, nearly 50 years old is like, hey, on the side, I'm a online mashup DJ. I mean, I think there is probably a reaction to that would be pretty standard. Like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, she has been with you for many years. She does know that,
she's not
an interesting
she's
person.
not surprised by it. I will say that.
Yeah.
Sorry, my light is bothering me. It's not staying like I want it to.
Nice.
But anyway, look, I gave her 20% odds. And
it happens.
Oh my god!
Wow, Jack, that in a way, that is like the Groin Kick Chronicles, where the opponent has a 5% chance to beat Nebraska, and guess what? They beat Nebraska. And that episode, or that podcast rather, is coming in 12 days. We are recording, Jack and I, tomorrow. We are recording the second part of the entire series. Where is that?
Sorry, I'm looking at the chat.
Yeah. But Jack and I record the
I'm looking
second
at the
part
Discord
of the
chat.
Groin Kick
By the
Chronicles yeah. Set it up.
Your internet is a little your internet is a little messy right now, Josh. Sorry.
Is it really?
I hate to break that to you, but
that's not
it's
good.
It's kind of choppy a little bit. Yeah, it's okay though. What we have about this, and it's the policy of the club, is grace to people with internet issues, understanding, realizing it's not something people can control. And
that's true.
It's self-fixed up, so we'll make sure it is. Yeah. No, I wanted to. I did want to real quick say, I'll let you finish that thought on there. Those who are, since we're public now, and we got a lot of people watching on YouTube, people who are chatting, that we're reading the chat, are members on our Discord. You can be a part of that if you want. Patreon.com/I80 Club. Anyway, you're saying about the Groin Kick Chronicles. Sorry.
You and I recording the second part of everything tomorrow.
And so the first episodes will drop in a couple weeks. We'll have a trailer coming a little over a week from now. Is my internet still being bad? Is that the look that you're giving me right now, Jack, or is it the coffee isn't tasting as well as you were hoping it would?
Yeah. No, the coffee's great. No, you're having some internet issues today, a little bit. So when you're talking, I don't know why. I don't know.
I'm gonna
assuming
hop
you
out
guys
and
are
hop
also
back
getting
in.
it too. So maybe hop out, come back in. Yep, there you go. Meanwhile, now it's my turn to finally talk on this stupid club. Let's go. Now I got the stage. What do I say? Oh my gosh, I've never thought about what I would do if Josh wasn't here. Let's see. Give me a topic. Let's go. No. We're really excited about the work. You can now hear a couple of different samples of what we're doing with the Groin Kick Chronicles. We've got a couple of weeks till it releases as well. That was the Illinois one that he just played you a part of. I am going to be with him recording some bits of it here coming up on Sunday as well. And it's going to be cool. It won't be too long till we have the whole series that is out for folks. Josh's video still looks choppy. Let's hope his audio isn't. We'll see.
I'm triggered. I'm very triggered right now. How's my audio? Is it any better?
That sounds better. Your video was jumpy.
Yeah, my video looks horrible even on my end right now. I have no idea what's going on. Did somebody chop up our grass or something? We have the cables all in the ground over here. And now I'm blurry. Okay, it looks like I'm finally getting fixed. Good God. All right, audio is good. That's all that matters, right? People are much more forgiving on the video being shitty as long as the audio is good.
There we go. Oh, Risk gave us a speed test. Ooh, 157.
Look, our internet's perfect.
I mean, I get 500 and 500, so.
I'm going to close all my programs. Maybe it's just my laptop, because we did learn that the issues that you had, Jack, were all related to your computer. It wasn't even your internet. Remember that when we just found out that you were using a laptop that's garbage?
Well, yeah, and it was the understanding of everyone that carried me through it, I think. Just like never saying, man, Jack, you're annoying us. This is what you always do. Just never saying any of that, and just understanding the whole time, I guess, is what carried me through those. It was a tough time, technologically and emotionally for me.
Yeah, that's why we're all good for you, Jack. We're all good for you.
That's what I appreciate so much. Yeah. So,
and it's great that this is happening on one of our public shows. You know, I love this. Is we're trying to grow the I-80 Club, and people are checking it out, and they're like, "What the hell is this? It looks and sounds like garbage.
What is this crappy? What is this show from 1998? Is this a show from when Jack was playing playlist from last night? No, we usually don't have any of these issues at all, and we won't going forward. But we're just putting out great content for everyone. So anyway. All right. I don't know what you wanted to say any more about the Groin Kick thing, but it's going to be good. It's going to be out. You can get samples now, blah, blah, blah. There you go.
Yeah. We're really excited. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. 12 days is when it premieres. Trailer's going to come that week as well. Jack and I are recording the rest of the project tomorrow, and we will have in a couple of weeks both the prologue and episode 1 drop on the same day. But if you want access to episodes a week away and bonus stuff that we're going to be cooking up, including some interviews, some Be Kind Husker rewinds for some horrible losses.
Oh man.
Patreon.com/ID Club, and you can get access to all of that and more. Plus, we're going to have Jack on HuskerMax.com in concert with the audio series, videos and highlights from all these games and so much more. So we're gonna be flooding the zone with a bunch of stuff in a couple of weeks. Excited.
It's a new era. It's a new era for the I-80 Club, and can you imagine if we can do this and get the internet fixed? We're going to be unstoppable.
Sky is the limit, Jack. If our internet is working.
So now that we're doing this kind of podcast content, and just to repeat on this, like I still don't know the rankings. I'm having them unveiled to me
tomorrow. You're going to learn them tomorrow
live on mic with shout out Ian, new friend of the club. So I'm going to be recording with him and Josh in a long recording session tomorrow.
And do you know who else is going to be there tomorrow?
Who?
Stibbs.
Really? Why?
Stibbs is helping doing the video stuff. Jack,
why are we doing video? Do I have to dress up for this? What am I supposed to wear?
I don't know. That's a great question. We're going to have 3 cameras. We're going to have a 2-shot. We're going to have individual shots as well.
I don't have a lot of good angles. We're kind of gambling with one. I am not I'm not what you call a photogenic man. I don't clean up well. I don't do well around children. I may eat my own dandruff. Sorry.
You do have Chris Farley on the brain, as I saw on Twitter a little bit earlier.
Did you like that? Did you?
Yeah, that
I
was
still
good.
don't know what your joke is, but I get it enough that I know how to act like I don't get it.
Yeah, you
right?
figured it out. I think you figured it out.
I still don't know what it is. I mean, I don't know
Hey,
what you're referencing.
Adam says to wear pants. I was actually thinking about that on a run today. Should we be
Wow.
wearing pants for this?
Good Lord, what is this? A ball? Is this a royal ball? Pants?
I don't know.
Is this a wedding? Like,
I don't know how much of our bodies are going to be shown. Like, are we going to have our legs available to see for all? I'll have to ask Ian. I'll text Ian today and say, hey, will people see our legs?
Wow, that is going to change some of my plans for tomorrow. Okay.
Sam, if you don't wear pants, it will be a real chat sack. Oh, all right, so that's what we have coming up. Patreon.com/ID Club. Jack, what do we do? What do we want to get to first and foremost? We have a lot of topics on the.
Here's
on
what we
the
should do.
sheet
You
today.
should explain me all the boring ass college football news that happened this week, and I'll react to it. It's a nice way for me to get up to date on what's happening without reading all of these.
Me?
Story. Yeah, I mean,
I'm your news aggregator.
Kind of, yeah. This is part of the reason I started this club, is to get you to just tell me stories that I miss during the day. I know it's kind of a long game to play to get that, but you did it really nice with the playoff on Wednesday night for our bonus pod. Josh explained to me all the news of the playoff. I kind of I thought about it. I reacted. I computed it for the first time and gave a reaction then. And so, is there anything else I need to know?
Real quick, Keena says putting the groin in groin kick. We're recording with our shorts tomorrow. Jack, it's so funny you say that. I got a text from someone today, or earlier this week, rather.
This light is driving me nuts. Go ahead. I have Josh, I have technical problems too.
Yeah, I can't
get this light to get the light up my features like I'd like it to. So
you look fine, Jack. You look the same as you always do. But anyway,
I don't quite have that glow I usually have coming off me. Man, I got a nice new hat I got too.
I got a text, Jack, that said that I earnestly care about every aspect of college football. And this person added, lots of other media people love college football, but I don't think there's anyone else that matches your passion for it on air. And I was like, wow, that's really, really nice. But it's also kind of a diss.
Yes.
It's also kind of a diss.
That's a hilarious text. Like, man, I got to hand it to you. You care about this stuff more than anyone I know.
Ever.
And I get it. It's true, but wow, you really do, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think whoever's texted that, I would echo those sentiments.
You would retweet it?
Yeah, I echo those sentiments because I can't do it every day, Josh.
Do you think if you had a show, if you were on, let's say that, crazy idea, what if they put you and Happer together, right, in middays, and you were doing a radio show with Connor Happer every day?
But just to imagine, okay, completely fictional. Let's get that clear, okay?
Yeah,
but
hilarious,
anyway, yes.
Hilarious idea.
No one would ever suggest that.
You'd probably pay attention to it a little bit more, right? Like, because you would talk about it occasionally.
Josh, I'm not sure if you know this. I already do that with a whole bunch of subjects that are not sports related. So yeah, I certainly could. I could certainly be more educated. I could certainly talk about it, but I don't have to for a job. I mean, I guess I probably should when we're going to talk about it on this show, but I don't.
Because I'm here.
So I would.
Josh.
Yeah, the answer is yes, I would. But to the degree, because I'm able to consume, unlike you, sports more as a fan, like really as just a fan, as it is purely recreation for me, for the most part. That's a little blurred because of the club, but that is the role that sports information plays in my life, right? As recreation. And I do not feel like I am recreating when I'm reading any of this stuff in the college football offseason, even about the playoff. Even about the playoff.
That's wild because, like, I understand, and we're going to talk about the settlement in just a moment. And don't worry, we're not going to get bogged down in details because we've talked about it plenty before. But it's wild that the playoff doesn't even tickle your fancy, given that, like, that's like on the field impact.
When you I got a little bit excited about it or interested in it when you explained it to me, and
I distilled it down.
I didn't have to take the time to. Yes.
Yeah.
Like, again, that's why I have you, so I don't have to do that. Is you just tell it to me instead of reading. So yeah.
Well, I'll tell you this, Jack. So last night we learned that the settlement, which we have been waiting on for 2 months, finally got approved by the judge out in California. So what does that mean? Players are going to get paid by their universities. That is, I think, Jack, we can just distill it there, and we could move on if we wanted to. I mean, there are certainly a lot of avenues to it in terms of what is it going to mean for Nebraska, what's it going to mean for the athletes, et cetera, et cetera. But, the top line headline is athletes will now get paid by their universities, still won't be employees for whatever reason.
Right.
Which is very, very strange.
And we knew that, it took longer. There were some legal wranglings. The judge basically wanted them to come to some settlement on some things prior to signing off on some tertiary issues on it before signing off. I do actually know that stuff. But this was always the end result we've been expecting for months at this point. So there wasn't any surprising news yesterday. It just kind of got made official. So
yes, yeah, for sure.
That's kind of it. I mean, I'm sure there probably are some details that I may not even know that they did agree to on the settlement, right? Like one of them was, I believe, roster limits. That was what
they're phasing those in now.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, because that was the hang up. That was the biggest hang up from the judge 2 months ago when all this stuff was going down.
So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what I think it's going to do. I'll be completely honest. I just don't know. Right. And I don't know that anybody completely knows because, again, how much is going to change? How quickly? How different is it than where we are now? I mean, the obvious biggest part is about the university making the payments directly instead of through third parties and how that affects university budgets, what that does to collectives, what they can still do, how that affects the balance of power of who's got the money, who can pay more and who can't. Those are the big questions to me around this whole thing.
Yeah. Riss says, I don't care about any of this until they fix the damn transfer portal. Yeah, it's funny. This is a change that happens, and people are like, awesome, the universities can pay the players. But the issues of college sports, I would say, Jack, what's the thing that annoys you the most about college sports right now? I think for the majority of fans, it is the portal and the lack of kind of keeping players, like a contract, if you will, right? If you're a fan of an NFL team, you just sign a running back to a 4-year contract. For the most part, you know that you're going to have this guy for 4 years. In college football, signing day has essentially been rendered useless. I don't care at all about signing day anymore because why would I expect the players to be at Nebraska in 2 years, let alone 4? So I think that's where a lot of frustration lies for fans. It's not about players getting paid. It is, I don't know that my favorite player is going to be on my team for more than one season.
And Josh, that can come from two places. There's one place that can come that's sort of more of an old school, this isn't how it used to be when when you're a teammate, when you make a commitment to a university, you should uphold that. And then there's another critique of it that it's just like, okay, this is a terrible way. It's fine that they're paying them. It's fine that they're looking for the best offer, but no sport, no organization, nobody does it like this, right? There is the model that college football has for the transfer portal is used nowhere else for anything. Why? Because it's unbelievably, it's disorganized. You can't plan around it. It's not good. It's not good for anyone. Perhaps some players, right? But there's still losers.
I think it's good for some players, yeah, for sure.
It's good for a handful of players, but it's overall, I don't think it's good for anyone. And that you can say that without being morally opposed to the idea of frequent transfers.
Yeah. And I think my position on that has evolved over the years. I early on, I have been in the kind of, hey, burn it to the ground a little bit because the players, throughout all of our lifetimes until recently did not have any of the power. We're not able to make any of the money, So there's been a part of me that was like, this is great. I like that this is happening. But I do think it's swung a little too far, And I think it's okay to say, I want my players, I want there to be contracts or guardrails in place where a player signs a deal and he is on a team for 2 years or 3 years, or maybe they want to even do 4 years. And hey, look, if quarterback X, Jack, comes in, he's like, I'm only going to sign a 1-year deal. At least that they're signing a 1-year deal. And then you hope that to bring him back for another year. I think that would be best for all parties involved, players and coaches and fans as well. So I think it's okay to say that.
Josh, imagine if radio ran like college football does with the transfer portal. You know what I mean? We're in a business where there are contracts, right? Inside baseball. But
I have a contract.
you could, it wouldn't, it would be so like no one would like it, right? I don't think anyone. Well, I might, but I don't think most people would like it. Again, there are a few players who benefit from it. There are people in certain situations, I think, who benefit, but the vast majority of the parties do not benefit. And it's going to be so annoying because they're going to end up on this, Josh. They will end up like this because that's where it's got to go. And you know who's going to be vindicated in this whole thing in a terribly annoying way? John Bishop. Because damn it, Josh,
scholarship contract.
Damn it, Josh. If like 8 years ago he didn't lay this all out,
I know,
like,
it's so annoying.
So I don't know if it'll be exactly like he did it, but he was, and I'm sure he's not the first ever person, but he's the first person I ever heard kind of come up with that idea. And I didn't know if I bought into it then because I didn't know where things were going. But man, he's going to look good on this one.
Yeah, he really is. It's tough. I want to read, Jack, a couple of tweets real fast from Stuart Mandel of The Athletic, because I think that he hits on something that frustrates me. And he sent these out this morning. He says it's somewhat poetic that the House settlement got approved during Game 3 of the Women's College World Series, where a $1 million pitcher nearly led Texas Tech to an improbable national title. Because the purpose of the new Deloitte NIL clearinghouse is to stamp out collectives like Texas Tech's. NIL/portal has been the rare development that broke the usual suspect stranglehold on top talent. And he mentioned some players in terms of this year. A top portal quarterback chose Duke. Cam Ward, Carson Beck, they went to Miami, haven't won in 20 years. A 5-star hoops recruit went to BYU, and Kennedy didn't pick Oklahoma. He adds, finally, Nick Saban and others love to say that they need NIL reform to level the playing field. The playing field has never been leveled. The schools with the most history/biggest fan bases always get the best players, so they hate someone like Texas Tech using NIL dollars to invade their turf. And there was a response that he got to this, and it kind of hits on exactly what we're talking about, where this person says part of that is correct, but just look at all the top G5 running backs last year and look to see how many of them are playing for the same team this year. And Mandel says that's because of unlimited transfers, and the House doesn't address that. And so, like, the issue that a lot of us fans have, or media or whatever, coaches, I would say, is, God, unlimited transfers. How do you lock that down? This doesn't solve that. And so it's a step. Like, universities paying players, Jack, is massive, massive. You know, could you ever imagine this when you were a kid, that like Turner Gill could eventually get paid by Nebraska? And now that's going to happen. But the other parts of your childdom, if you will, with sports, like unlimited transfers, didn't exist either.
I mean, all it does is changes who signs at least some of the checks. I mean, I don't. Yeah. This, and by the way, to push back against that argument that Stuart Mandel made, I mean, okay, Miami got Cam Ward. Let's not act like Miami is Miami of Ohio. Okay, like that's okay. BYU got a good. That seems like kind of a unique situation too. Like Texas Tech softball, they may not have been right. Okay, they did not have a championship history in softball, but I mean, it's Texas Tech. It's in the cradle of that sport. It's in the conference that's been historically really good in that sport too. So, I mean, I'm a little to act like the NIL thing has brought out this chance for the, you know, kind of the little guy to bid up with a big guy. Stop.
You don't think so?
I mean, no, because. Well, give me a better example than those. I would
say this, Jack. Don't you think that Alabama and Georgia's talent has flattened just a little bit in recent years? That, you know, like a decade ago, it seemed like Alabama was hoarding all the best players, and now they seem a little bit worse.
I don't know for sure because Alabama had a coaching change to some degree. I mean, I don't really know about. I don't
Look
know.
Look at how Ole Miss was able to jump into the fray. And I know they didn't make it to the college football playoff, but Ole Miss jumped way up in terms of their spending and the types of players that they have. And Adam says depth of talent. I think that's what's happened. The depth is not with the good program. So I'll disagree with you. You know, and look, let's see what's going to happen. Like last year, who won the Natty? Ohio State. Like Ohio State's won national championships in our lifetime and in lifetimes before our lifetime. Like they're not a newbie. I think Michigan winning was very unique because a school like Michigan often doesn't win a national championship. At least they hadn't lately. Now, how much of that was COVID eligibility and how much of that was, you know, being able to spend a lot of money? It's certainly a bit of both of those things. So,
all right. You know. A little. I'm not going to go over the, like, I'm not going to go over the top in calling it kind of a super egalitarian system now because it's just, there's a little of it. I will buy that, but not a ton. But that, again, that's not the biggest point that he was necessarily making. That just struck me in kind of an odd way. But there's not a ton going to change. You're right. I mean, to get to the whole point of the reason that you said it, there's not a ton going to change until you're right. Transfer portal gets changed, because largely what's happening is you're changing the pot of money that's coming from. Yes, there'll be some shifting within who's got the power with the collectives and the universities, and who are winners and losers in terms of the schools with that. But it's basically going to be the same thing, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's not gonna feel particularly different, right? There'll be schools that plan for it and have more money. There'll be, that's going to impact, or going to have less of a poor impact on it. There are going to be collectives that still figure out. And by the way, collectives they're not going to be able to just kick collectives out. They don't have, they're going to get antitrust, problems if they start restricting collectives. I don't know how much of the settlement says that they're going to, because I haven't delved into it yet, Josh, but I just know from a legal perspective, they're not going to be able to shut down the activities of collectives. It's going to happen in addition to this. So, you're just not going to be able to put restrictions on them like that.
Yeah, and that's why, like, I don't know how much further we want to go down this, but Jack, I have a source who's really tied in with some money stuff around here in terms of the college programs, and I got a text from this person about a month ago that said the House settlement isn't going to slow down NIL, even with the introduction of the clearinghouse. The SEC and Big Ten purposely drafted within the House settlement that market agencies are exempt from the clearinghouse. All of the major SEC and Big Ten collectives are setting up third-party marketing agencies so they can continue to fund via NIL on top of the revenue sharing and have it be exempt.
That's just what,
Yeah. So that's, because everyone keeps pointing to the Deloitte thing and saying, like, oh, now you have to prove, if you spend more than $600 on a player that they're worth it. You have to, which I think you and I talked a little bit before. How you prove market value is, I don't understand how you're going to be able to do that. You, Jack, think that I am worth, let's just say $100 for something. Somebody who dislikes me says Josh isn't worth $5. But if you think that I'm worth $100, then that is my market value. And so how you prove that a player, no, that guy's not worth $1,000 for whatever you're having him do. How? You can't say that. If I'm willing to spend that much money, then what are you going to do? It's like bidding for something on eBay. Jack, you might bid for a poster of Tommy Boy, and you might spend $1,000. And meanwhile, I'm buying a poster for Ari Aster movies. And you're like, that's not worth 2 cents to me.
Not a fan of Ari Aster's work. Just not a fan. I don't like this. I guess I just don't like the cinematography is what bothers me.
Interesting. That's the thing that you just
some
like.
of the
wow.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
I guess that's it with me.
Okay. So that's what's going on with the with college football moving forward.
Yeah. See, I can talk about it, right?
Yeah.
I just don't want to.
But Dilo says $2 bid for the shirt Jack is wearing.
Sorry.
Not the look that I was expecting from you this morning, Jack. I'll be honest.
So the reason there's a really dumb reason I'm wearing it.
Yes.
Yesterday on my talk radio show, I don't know if you heard, but it was a pool party.
I missed it. I'm sorry.
What? Oh, wow. Well,
yeah.
I know that's not typically, it must have been a wild day in the Josh
I'll check
household.
out the podcast.
Crazy morning for you not to get up at 6 a.m. and catch the entire 3 hours. But on Fridays, we play music.
I've seen this
on my talk radio show, and we had a pool party theme. Doesn't that sound fun?
So you're just wearing the same shirt?
So I wore my flamingos. I have a flamingo swim trunks. They have flamingos on them.
Sure.
And this was the only Hawaiian shirt I could find in my closet. And so I wore it in the morning, but I changed right away when I got home because I had a meeting with a client. And I didn't think I should.
You didn't want to wear that?
I mean, it's not far really from what I wore, so I'm not sure that line is that meaningful, but it was in my head. So I took it off, but I only worn it for like 3 hours. And for some reason I have this, I don't like to waste food. I don't like to waste,
you don't want to waste clothes.
I had only used 20% of the battery on this shirt. So I wanted to get all the charge out of it before I recharge it and launder it. And I don't want to, who knows? I don't want to take any life off of this shirt or damage it by laundering it excessively. So
I like that, Jack. That's good reasoning. That's good.
And by the way, if he does start the bidding for $2 on that, it's pretty good return on investment for me, to be honest.
You think so?
I would win that. Yeah. With the residual value of $2 after I worn it for a few years and bought it for like $7, pretty good.
Well, I'd add on
Pretty
top
good.
of that, Jack, patreon.com/IED Club, and you could subscribe for just $3 more. Then the bidding is starting for that shirt. For just $5, you can get access to all of our podcasts.
That's true. That's
That's what I would say.
All right. That's
Most-
the boring stuff. Now
Well,
what?
one more thing. Sorry. Mo says, one question I have about the universities paying players. Sorry, Jack. How do universities that are facing massive funding issues justify a line item budget of $20 million, all while raising student tuition prices again? At some point, non-profitable programs have to face some public pressure, right? We can say this for Nebraska. It is going to be self-funding because it comes from the athletic department. So, I think that's a big part of it, at least for a school like a Nebraska. But how it happens with other schools like a UCLA, who has a bunch of budgetary issues right now, or Cal, those are great questions. And I imagine that there probably will be protests about it.
You mean athletic department budgetary issues they have?
Yeah, well, and those ones have university
I
budgetary
mean, Nebraska
issues.
definitely has university budgetary.
But they don't have any with their athletic department. The AD's doing great.
That's why I asked the question.
Yeah, it's a good question, though. It's a good question. And he says one reason to be optimistic about Nebraska's football future over the next 15 years. Definitely. I do wonder, Jack, what this means for basketball, because I don't think the basketball is going to get a whole lot of that $20.5 million for their roster moving forward. I do not. So they'll probably continue to suck.
Very sad. And Creighton's going to put like $500 million into basketball or what? And then like $20 into volleyball, or how's that going to work with them?
Great question.
Or soccer or whatever.
Yeah, I'll ask my sources on that, and I'll get back to you on next week's
Cool.
episode.
Actually, I don't care. Whatever.
Oh, okay. Interesting. So yeah, that's the latest. I don't think, Jack, you, as we started the pod, you once we got past my internet issues, you asked for me to get you caught up on all the boring college sports or football stuff. I think that was it in terms of things that happened between Wednesday and today. Yeah, man. I don't think there's really any other stuff that's going on right now.
I'm not there yet, Josh. I'm not there in complete football thirst mode, but I'm starting to feel the thirst, the pangs of football thirst.
Yes.
Right? I'm starting to feel it. It's not there yet. I'm not parched yet. I will be. I mean, I'll tell you now, I will be. I don't know exactly when it's going to hit, but there's going to be a point where I'm, spending every minute that I have in front of a computer just looking at the schedules, watching YouTube pump up college football, pump up videos made by 13-year-olds. I'll be there soon. And that's part of what
are we talking about? You think at post-College World Series? I know that you don't really engage in the College World Series.
We got to get these NBA finals done because I cannot. Oh, God, the Stanley Cup. I mean, what are the Panthers going to do? After
that game was great last night. Double OT.
Really? I was DJing. I missed it.
I was there.
I might have missed that. Who won? Edmonton?
Panthers. Series is tied at 1-1 now, baby.
So yeah,
to go back to the thirst, the pangs of thirst.
Yes, probably. I would say it'll probably be when we get to probably post July 4th. That's probably when.
So you got about a month until you're really I'm ready,
right? And then like all my vacation is over, but a bunch our podcast, dropping is over. Like a bunch of things to keep me busy and think about and look forward to. Or work on are going to be.
Well, I mean, you will have all the episodes of the Groin Kick Chronicles that will take you into mid-August, so you'll.
I know, but we won't be like working on them as much.
That's true. We will not be premiering.
I have worked my ass off on this, and so like when I get that out of my way,
put a lot of work into this.
When I get that, I don't know what I'm going to do. It'll probably be.
You're gonna have all this free time
to learn a new skill. I already became a mashup DJ, and so check that off the list. I'm not even sure what's next. Like maybe become an electrician or something. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. You've really been working hard. We appreciate it.
Maybe I'll start painting.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm always excited for football season, of course. Like, who wouldn't be excited for football? But I've not yet reached the point in the off season where I'm like, okay, I'm bored. But I do feel like we're getting close to me.
But I am bored of the off season stories. I want stories about teams. And now I'll tell you what I did like.
You want a Scott Frost story? Would you like a Scott Frost story?
No, absolutely not, Josh. Damn it.
Oh, okay.
Here you are again. Rage merchant. Josh Peterson, rage merchant.
Just was asking. What do you want? You seem like you're about to say what.
The currency you trade in is other people's rage, and you enrich yourself on it.
Yeah, I saw there was a hilarious response that Dave Fight quoted when I sent out the video.
I saw that too.
And it was like, hard pass. Like, what self-respecting sports fan doesn't like sitting around with their friends and reveling in misery of losses? That the best part about being a sports fan. That's more fun than celebrating a win, is saying, no, you don't know how bad I have had it. Let me tell you about the worst loss that I've experienced as a player. Or as
one
a
of
fan.
my entire purposes in life is to let people know how bad things are for me. So they'll
D'Lo says it's my favorite part. Yeah, Josh, we know it is.
What is his favorite part?
Being a miserable sports fan.
Oh, yeah.
And talking about the bad stuff.
Yes. No, the story though that did get my attention or interest was
7-on-7.
Not that, although
A lot of
I do have some thoughts on that are not probably the ones that you are expecting. I'm not going to break down anything. That tight end looked big and good.
What about Cam Newton?
Don't know his name. Cam Newton was here. That was cool. I did see that. But here's a more important thought.
Yeah.
Playing defense, being on a 7-on-7 team and being a defensive player looks terrible.
Yeah, it's not.
It looks
no pass rush.
It looks like the least fun sport. It'd be like playing on a basketball team, but you had offense and defense on basketball. Actually, that would probably still be more fun because you get to like block shots occasionally, and stuff.
Sure.
It's like I don't understand it. It sounds boring. It's like only being a putter in golf, but you don't get to do anything else or something. I'm not sure.
Jack, I actually did that last year. I got invited to a scramble that was raising money, but I had an issue with my back, and so I was like, I'm not feeling comfortable swinging right now, but I'll help with putting.
Yeah, that's what you were, like a 7-on-7 cornerback in that situation.
I think I made some putts, so that was nice.
I think putting is still. It's like taking all the fun things out of being a defender out of the game.
Yeah,
but keeping all the like work type of stuff, like the hard stuff in there. I don't know. It doesn't look very fun. Anyway, that was my big takeaway from Husker Battle of the Boneyard.
Battle of Bones.
Battle of the Bones. And they entered team. Well, how did this work? They entered team. These are like youth 7-on-7 teams. Is that what this is? From various cities. And Cam Newton was a coach.
Sometimes I feel like I'm doing my job poorly when I don't go to these events, but then I think, why would I waste a Friday? I can be on my couch watching the Stanley Cup final and listening to you DJ.
McMaster
happy with my decision.
McMaster texted me while I was doing my radio show.
Did he text you about Trey Taylor?
No, he texted me. He was like, "Are you going to the thing tonight?"
The Battle of Bones?
And I was like, "I'm doing my radio show. I mean, absolutely not. No, I'm not going to it." But
I appreciate Matt's hustle. Matt's hustle early on as a 1620 The Zone employee has been great. He's doing stuff that I will never do.
Love it. But
shout out to you, Matt.
Yeah, I don't even have a sports talk show other than this, So and nobody's asking me to break that down here, so I wasn't going to that. No, what did he say about Trey Taylor? What happened to Trey Taylor?
It was via text. I don't know if I should, I always feel a little iffy about reading text on.
Oh, okay. Well, I will tell you this.
Yeah.
Okay, here. This is an interesting topic.
Said he was good. He's basically said he was good.
Oh, wow. Controversial. Is Taylor trying to like out gregarious Dylan Raiola?
What do you mean?
Are we recruiting the most like gregarious? Do we recruit only quarterbacks who seem like they're running for office? It's unbelievable.
I mean,
and
isn't that how most quarterbacks are, though? Most quarterback recruits are always like, "Hello, I think so.
I mean, are they? Was Danny Kaelin like that?
That's fair. No, not really. He was kind of understated, I would say. That's a good point.
I mean, was Adrian Martinez even like that? No.
He came onto the scene so late, though. Frost got hired and Adrian committed and signed within like a week. So that was different, and then suddenly he was on campus a month later.
I don't know, man. It feels like
Jordan says, Jack to McMaster, hard pass.
Well, on going
Jack,
to that
you want to come to the Battle of the Bones?
And then he was like, "Do you want to get a drink afterwards?" I was like, "That'd be fine, but I would like you." And I didn't say this, but I was like, "I would like you to come to my house to do that." I don't.
Hey, do you want to come to my basement?
Yeah, if you can, you have to watch me DJ and not say anything, but you can have a drink next to me.
Nice.
If you would like.
That would have been awesome. If he would have just been sitting in the room watching you DJ.
I could give him some maybe I could get a splitter and he could listen. Otherwise, he probably wouldn't be. He could hear it coming out of mine a little bit, but no, I felt bad that I turned him down for that. But
DZ, by the way, pointed out that Trayvis Hunter was there. Which, if you missed it last night,
there's a guy named Trayvis Hunter. Are you kidding me?
Travis Hunter's brother.
And his name is Trayvis.
there was a whole conversation in the Husker channel last night. Keena goes, Travis and Trayvis, are you serious? And then Alex said, Trayvis Hunter sounds like Travis. He's just wearing glasses and a mustache. To which Keena then responded, imagine having a child and then having a second child and being like, I don't know. We really hit it out of the park with Travis.
That's almost like we really hit it out.
I love the idea of Travis Hunter wearing glasses and a mustache. It's like, wow, this Trayvis guy looking really good.
I'm a freshman looking forward to college football.
Yeah, well, this is really cool. It's different than high school, everybody.
That's hilarious. I want that to be true. Have it be Travis Hunter.
Yeah. He's like, you know what? I'm getting bored playing two positions. So instead, I'll go to Nebraska and I'll still play college football while also playing for the Jaguars on Sundays. Doing a little
just like adding one letter to the, is it Tray?
Yes. Yeah.
So it just adds a Y.
Yeah.
I mean, just like adding one letter, that'd be almost like having a kid and just adding a letter or two to your name to make it their name. So,
correct.
So dumb. Can you imagine? Oh my gosh.
Keena says this sounds like a great idea for a movie. Yeah, what if this was a movie that they did with Travis Hunter where he was Trayvis and he goes to Nebraska while still playing in the NFL for the Jaguars?
Right. It'd be like if I had a kid and I named him Jackie, right? You know,
yeah.
So funny.
Oh, Mose, good one, Jake, but it's Jayck. I wonder if anybody spells their name like that and pronounces it Jake instead of Jake. It's Jayck. Jake.
I don't know. I mean, there's some alternate spellings of names now that are very phonetic. You know, that's one of the, I think phonetic is in right now in naming babies, I would say.
Phonetic is
in, right? Like if you want it to read exactly like it's pronounced, right? That's
I guess that's true.
You would be like a Jaush now.
Josh.
Yeah.
Josh.
Jaush. Yeah.
It would feel like it's pronounced Josh. Connor says my grandma's name is Joan, but it's pronounced Joan. Joanne. Oh, okay. I was like Joan.
Oh, well,
just
listen.
Second N.
I mean, my wife goes through this all the time, right? So her
Megan.
name is Meagan.
Yeah, people probably call her Megan.
Everyone calls her Megan. Her grandpa called her Megan her entire life. He never once called.
Are we sure that it's her name isn't Megan?
Well, yeah, yes, her mom named her and calls her that. So I checked, a couple weeks ago I asked, and I was like, so I've never figured this out for sure. So how do you say my wife's name? Like, say it for me so I can hear it, you know?
Yeah.
And so
she would have said Megan.
Yeah, I mean, I would have started calling her that. I think that's only, the nice thing to do in a marriage is pronounce their name correctly.
That's true. That's a good point.
Yeah.
So is that what you're interested in Husker football? Is the 7-on-7 camp? I feel like I stepped on what you were actually going to say.
No, I said what I wanted to say is defense on 7-on-7 camp.
Wow.
I wouldn't travel to Lincoln to go play defense on a 7-on-7 camp. Offense sounds great. I would first thing I would say
points.
First thing I would say at the 7-on-7 camp when I got there to Cam Newton is like, I'm all-time Q, okay? All-time Q right here.
Sure. All-time Q. I've never heard anyone say that.
Everyone knows what all-time Q is.
Everyone says all-time QB. No one says all-time Q.
When you're talking 7-on-7 or pickup football, you just call it Q.
I've never heard this.
Help me, folks. Is
this a Gen X thing? This seems like a Gen X thing. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
nobody.
And by the way, we played tackle football, no pads.
I did that. We did that sometimes.
Oh, did you? Kind of surprised to hear that.
I was in the mean streets of North Omaha, Jack. Of course we played tackle football.
Well,
yeah.
Tell me when you make it through East Lincoln, and then I'll be interested in your tough areas of town.
I-Formation, who is old, says, I say all-time Q. See, this has to be a generational.
And look at that. Well, I don't know if Bruce was saying Jack's all-time Q, but Bruce is of the generation too. So
yeah, Bruce. Yeah, see, the olds are like, I definitely say all-time.
We said all-time Q all the time. Ask John. I guarantee he'll.
That's not gonna help your argument.
Well, I mean, just that it existed. I didn't make it up in my own head.
By the way, Bruce says Jack's agent never heard that before.
Oh, okay. I thought he was. Never mind then.
Keena says Gen Q. You're not Gen X. You're Gen Q.
That's right.
Yeah, I've never heard that.
But then the crazies took Q away from us, just like they took this away from us. Sorry, don't screenshot that.
Wait, what did you take? Oh, did you do the?
Yep.
You did that. Yeah. They did. They took that away.
I do
You,
this.
you should. Yeah. Now you have to say number one. You have to say number one. All right. Well, maybe you can bring it back. Yeah, we are in the Jack. To go back to what you said a little bit ago, we are in that time of summer. I think where we're all just treading water a little bit. As we're because you want to start doing preview stuff. I was thinking about that this morning because I saw a tweet that we are 11 weeks away now from the week 0 game overseas, which means we're 12 weeks away from the first week of the season. And you and I are going to start doing position breakdowns at some point soon. But I was like, shit, should we do those now? Like, that's probably a post-College World Series exercise when we're going to do that.
I don't know if people even want those.
I do, Jack, because I need to get my handle on the roster. I'm going to use that as prep for the season, and you love talking about rosters.
I love talking. Well, it's weird, but when we talk about football, I enjoy talking about the players. I know kind of a non-traditional way to look at the game.
Yeah, it's like when you say all-time Q. It's very different of you. It's very different. Sumaji says, looking forward to that 1.5 running back room breakdown. We love talking about the running back room. Have we talked about the running back room more than any other
I talked
thing
about it on your show yesterday.
God,
when we weren't talking about farts. Yeah.
Yeah, we love talking about the running back room. I think you and I, we are obsessed with it. Emmett Johnson better be good or else we're going to look like a bunch of morons. Shane says, is there a preseason magazine or comprehensive preview that comes out annually? Well, there's still the Phil Steele one. I think that went to print this week. Simple was going on and on about Lindy's coming out recently, Jack. And I was like, who gets excited about Lindy's?
I mean, I did although even
in the 90s.
Hold on, even in 1991, Lindy's was low on my power rankings, right?
Lindy's, I don't think I've ever bought a Lindy's before.
Athlon
and Phil Steele were my 1 and 2.
Phil Steele, not that long ago. I wasn't. Phil Steele didn't exist then, or he just wasn't. You couldn't get him. But Street and Smith was a big one. Athlon,
never bought that. Yeah, I bought.
Did you buy Athlon? Athlon was kind of the gold standard.
Athlon was the one I thought that I think that I bought first and foremost for a few years, and then I did get into that sicko territory where it's like I gotta have Phil Steele. But you know what, Jack? I think I might have gotten bullied into thinking that I needed every piece of information in tiny font.
I don't think I got Phil Steele until the early aughts was the first time I got a Phil Steele.
Well, I mean, it's only been around for like 25, 26, 27 years.
Yeah, that's probably when I got it. Like 2002, 2003 was probably the first time I got it. And then I got it and I was like, did they not have editors? It was
that's pretty wild.
I got it. I was like, it feels like there are typos everywhere. And I wasn't.
And if you're saying that, holy shit.
Yeah, look.
Phil Steele puts out a screenshot. I meant quarterback. Ugh.
I mean, the funniest thing is I was like literally an editor for a newspaper for a while, which is the most amazing.
Newspaper was great, I bet.
Like I did the final copy edit on on a weekly campus newspaper. But here's the thing now. Like I had at that point, not even 30-year-old eyes at that point. And so reading that, like I can't even imagine the thought of the print in a Phil Steele magazine makes my eyes hurt right now.
Yeah, you need to put on your reading glasses just to think about it.
You'll get there when you're probably about, I mean, there was a bunch of like things like that at about 43 to 45 really hit. And I used to just hear olds talk about it. And I was like, bifocals. And then about 43, 40, it'll come for you, man. It'll come for you. About 45.
I remember, Jack, when I got my eyes fixed, they were like, look, at a certain point, you're going to need readers because that we can't stop that from happening. Like your eyes will be fixed now and you won't need glasses, but you will still need readers at some point in time. Are you serious?
About 43 to 45, like I said, the combination of gray, getting gray fast, readers.
See, I don't mind the gray. I think I totally embrace. I don't mind having gray hairs. I'm totally good with the gray.
I obviously don't. Although I want to shave my head.
Yeah.
But I need to lose, not till I get a little less pudgy in the face. But at some point I want to shave my head. And my wife and my mom are like against it. And I'm like, what do you like about my hair so much?
It's great hair,
Like,
Jack. People love it, apparently. It's amazing
look,
hair.
Do you like this? Do you want this? Do you like this? Does this turn you on? I mean, come on.
I mean, she did bring you that coffee earlier. You said 20% chance, and she was downstairs within 2 minutes. She was like, I want to see those locks.
It's going to be a good night. It's going to be a good night. Hey.
It's Saturday night. Hey, honey, it's Saturday. Do you like what you see?
Do you know I'm a DJ?
Jack, are preseason magazines worthless in 2025, given that we have college football podcasts and the internet?
That is a great topic. We should have done that for the entire hour.
Yeah.
Number one, I feel bad. I should preface this. Number one, the cheerleader section. So obviously you got that. I'm kidding. But isn't that so weird that they put that in there?
Yeah, like, you'd be looking through Athlon, and then you're like,
because it was like,
what's going on with this?
It was like sort of the era of the swimsuit edition too, but it was like,
correct.
If the swimsuit edition is PG-13, if Playboy was R and swimsuit edition was PG-13,
it was like PG.
It was just like PG, right?
Yeah, here's this Oregon cheerleader. Check her out.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It was so weird.
Yeah, very strange.
It was it definitely. What was the purpose of that? I mean,
I don't know. Horny kids?
Yeah, I guess so.
I guess probably my age demo, right, Jack? With I was buying
now
one as like a 14. No, it's a 14-year-old.
Yeah, I know. That's the other thing is some of them are minors. I'm sure too. Like it's.
That's why it was good for a 14-year-old.
I guess.
I didn't have to feel bad about this.
I mean, that's one thing that you just don't get, you can't find that on the internet, so.
Yeah. You're like, what?
I'm Googling cheerleaders and
it's nowhere. It's nowhere on the internet.
And I've told this story before, Josh, and this is what I miss about those. And I have
about the magazine.
I have bought them. Yeah, I have bought them, but I don't really know why. And apologize for getting graphic with this, but I used to keep one in my downstairs bathroom, right?
Awesome.
And you know what a downstairs bathroom is for. And every time I went down there, I featured a team. Okay, I featured a single team, and I'll just be honest with you. I called it a poop preview. And so today's poop preview is Virginia Tech, right?
That's awesome.
So I would go through and I'd do the entire capsule. And over the summer, you
learn a lot.
You hit about 100, 120 teams. You remember a few names, those sorts of things. And so I do miss the poop preview. I really do.
I mean, I will say this.
It got me ready for the season.
In defense of the magazine, I do feel like I was way more knowledgeable about every team because, like right now, if I wanted to do research on every team, I could. Jack, the internet does exist, but it would be a lot harder. First of all, some stuff's going to be paywalled, so you'd have to deal with paywalls. You have to Google stuff, and like a true comprehensive preview. That's what the magazine had for you.
College Football News still does it.
Dude,
CFN,
I saw a Pete Futak Nebraska preview the other day, and I thought
already read it.
It was posted on the Red Sea Scrolls, and I was like, I bet Jack Mitchell has read this thing.
100%. CFN is the closest thing to the magazine. Now, the funny thing is CFN is only a couple years newer than the magazine, but that's the closest thing to the capsules that they had in magazines where it's consistent for every team.
Jack, I
always
swear
do
to
the top
God.
10 players. They do. Yep. They'll be good at this. They'll be bad at that. That site is still gold. Like, I want to meet. We should get them on the show.
You should get Pete Futak on the show.
I mean, now their website horrendous, almost unusable. Yeah, it is horrendous.
Sure. Maybe we shouldn't be saying these words if we're trying to book him on the show.
It's a great website. It works
Pete.
really good.
Awesome.
Well, I think they're trying to monetize it, and with a lot of they link. They'll make you. They clearly are getting paid for clicks, which is unacceptable to me.
They should write about Scott Frost.
Yeah, they should. There you go.
Write about Scott Frost, Pete.
It's great, but the content, not the way it's presented. Not how easy it is to use, but their content is still, to me, maybe the best in college football. And they haven't really changed much in terms of what they do over the years, including the technology they used to build the website.
Dude, I mean, Jack, it's wild. It's the same the way that it used to be, and they talking about clicks. They have 4. I open up the Illinois preview.
So
There's
bad.
the broad one, but then you have to go to a page for offense, a page for defense, and then finally a page for the prediction, win total, and keys to the season. Like, Pete, the internet, you can just put it all on one page.
They've made their content. No, it always has been so user unfriendly, but that was more acceptable in like 2003.
Yes, 100%.
Now it's, but the content, I'll tell you what, Josh, the content is there.
Jack, I swear to God, I read the Nebraska 2006 college football news preview probably a dozen times that summer. Just like, you know what? I'll go back and I'll read that because I was so excited for that 2006 season. They were going to USC. They'd restored the order at the end of 05. They were going to beat Texas at home.
The other thing I would always read is they did their like game previews and like a rating of how exciting the game is, and then the line and their prediction and their confidence in their prediction, right? And they would do that. I read that was always on like they would start coming out during the week. Now they're almost impossible to find in any organized manner on their website. There's no rhyme or reason to how or where they go up, but they're still really good if you can find them. So
yeah. Dude, I love the idea of you talking to Pete. I would love to know just how he does it and why he does it the way that he does. And, you know, how old school his site is compared to so many websites and that he's been doing.
I don't even know.
20 years.
Is like Rich Criminello still there?
I don't even know who that is.
Yeah, this is like you guys talking about your podcast guys for me, right? This is
like Alex Kirshner.
Well, I do know when you guys were talking about Ari Wasserman. I didn't know who that. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
right. But because these are my guys, Richard Criminello and Pete Futak, and there was one other one.
Yeah, there are times, Jack, where I think you are a young 40-whatever-year-old, and then there are other times, like right now, where you're like, "Who's Ari Wasserman?" I'm reading Pete Futak. Where I'm like, "Wow, you are John Bishop."
Unpredictable. No, I am. There's a little. I pick out just the best parts of each generation. I take a little bit of the old X's. I take a little bit of the millennials. I'll get a little bit of the Z here, right? I got a little of that in me that others don't have. I do.
Like what's the Z part of you?
You know, I love TikTok. No, I don't know.
Nice.
I'm not sure what it is.
We'll figure it out. Wow. That was all over the place, Jack. I don't know if we accomplished anything today.
No, I mean, look, guys, it's June. This is free. I mean, you know, you get what you pay for.
Exactly. And if you want better stuff,
D'Lo, hello. Wow. There you are. Okay, I was wrong about the cheerleader stuff not being available.
They still got it on CFN.
Yeah, CFN that's about the level of What in the world?
What is that an ad for? Josh, you need to click that for us and circle back and let us know what that is an ad for.
And by the way, you can't. Okay, college football news. Yes, there it is. Let's see what their headline. Illinois football preview. It's okay for the Fighting Illini to have nice things like the college football playoff. There it is. There it is. Team, and I'll just get ready for it. I said this probably 2 months ago, Josh. So I'll repeat myself now. But get ready for Illinois to be the trendy.
Jack,
they're the trendy team, which will mean one thing. I always go the other direction.
Yeah, people are way too in on Illinois.
I will overcompensate the other way, and especially because it's a Big Ten West team.
Hey, that could be something we do soon. Maybe we do superlatives where we try to find the teams that are going to be way overhyped. The Indiana 2025 Indiana for what they did last year. Maybe that's what we do. Maybe we try to have a specific thing that we do on the next Saturday morning coffee show as it pertains to college football that is not related to Deloitte and clearinghouses and any of that mumbo jumbo. Let's talk about players, Jack.
Teams.
Players on the field.
Players and teams. It's one of the sort of niche topics about college football, but I like to dig into that stuff for the sickos, right?
Yeah.
I really like to delve into talking about like the teams and the conferences.
Insane.
In games.
Yeah,
I know.
That's pretty wild, Jack.
I know. Wild. I'm a regular Tony Barnhart.
Nice. People started calling me Mr. Football this week, Jack. So suck on that, Tony. I'm Mr. Football now.
I heard that. Oh yeah, you guys did reference. That's the second Tony Barnhart. I did. That's probably why I was in my head. Is because you guys referenced it.
Because of unsportsmanlike conduct. Yeah. All right. So what we have coming up? Groin Kick Chronicles are not premiering next week. They will be premiering the week after. I know that we've joked about him and whatnot today, and my internet was being absolute garbage at the start of the podcast.
Yeah, I'm glad that got better.
We are insanely excited for this, and Jack and I are going to take care of the rest of the recording tomorrow.
I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty excited, I would say.
Yeah, you have to wear pants tomorrow because we're going to be on video. So we'll have that coming up tomorrow, and those episodes are going to drop in 12 days. If you want advanced access to the following week, patreon.com/ID Club Plus. We're doing a bunch of bonus episodes over there. I think, Jack, at some point soon, we're going to be doing a Be Kind Husker Rewind for a win. Not so much a loss, but a win. So we will have that coming up, plus some interviews, including Michael Severe, who is booked, I think, for about a month from now is when Michael is going to join us. So we'll have Michael on one of the Wednesday pods. And we have another person who has never been in the I-80 Club who will also be joining us. And, Jack, we found something recently, some blasts from the past that we will be doling out on the I-80 Club podcast feed as well.
Yeah. We thought they would never see the light of day again. So
yes. So we'll have that coming up as well. I think that's everything that we have coming up. We'd love to have you. Patreon.com/I-80 Club, or at the very least, a like and a subscribe to the I-80 Club YouTube page. We've hit 1,000. Now we're going for 1,100. So help us get to 1,100 subscribers. That would be very kind of you.
Yes. Thank you for joining us, everyone. Sorry that was crazy. Sorry I said inappropriate things.
It is okay. He is Jack. I'm Josh. Thanks for joining us today in the I-80 Club. We will talk to you later. Bye-bye.